from a very special country on a very special day in a very special place. Join us now for our 8-hour, day-long celebration we call the Los Angeles Regional 4th of July live televised celebration, including the Pacific Palisades Will Rogers 5 and 10K Run, USA Track and Field Certified, followed by How We Celebrate, the 4th of July backyard reports from all around the region. At noon, it's the Firecracker Film Festival, the award show where independent TV salutes independent film. And building up to the 2 p.m. telecast, first ever broadcast live, it's the Pacific Palisades Parade, live from Pacific Palisades, California. The 64th annual event, you'll see it live on this channel at 2 p.m. in California or live on the web through the web streaming. Los Angeles Regional 4th of July live televised celebration and the LA Regional 4th.com telecast are brought to you by the Academy of Radio and Television Broadcasting, state and federally accredited for 25 years, arbradio.com. Rex Talent Management, a selective talent management company you should visit at rextalentmanagement.com. Also brought to you by Shade Tree Imagineering, creative solutions in metalworking. Turn your imagination loose at shadetreeimagineering.com. And by Junie's Catering and Junie's Kitchen. Visit him for good food anywhere, junieskitchen.com. And brought to you by Magnolia Street Productions, live instant event video production. MagnoliaStreet.com brings you today's program. Also, Brandon's Diner, simply the best. 7 locations. Brandon'sDiner.com brings you the backyard reports and more. The Run Committee has been making some special preparations to make sure that the course was just right for their 3,000 guests today.
We're here to measure the Palisades Will Rogers 10K course as accurately as possible, and our goal is to measure it to USA Track and Field protocols. The road curves to the right, then back to the left.
Oh yes. No,
so
we blocked this. This is blocked with cones.
You're blocking it here at the back entrance to Evans Road. You'll be recording the counts I give you once we go past each mile mark. You'll be writing number in these spaces. You're gonna finish 6 mile, 5 mile, but we'll be going in this order. We'll be going from start to finish this way from bottom to top. Right. We have a standard issue bicycle rigged with a Jones Regal counter on the front wheel, which simply measures the number of counts as the wheel goes around. We calibrate the bicycle to a preset and approved calibration course, which we've already had certified. And that's what we're here to do this morning, is to measure the course. So I have several of my buddies coming to help ride herd and fend off traffic. 137945, okay, ready? Good. Okay, Mark. So.
Should I have Jimmy stay behind you?
Yeah, because I gotta cross both lanes.
Okay, I'll tell him.
I need two cars behind me until we get to the gate. In order to measure the course, you have to ride it in opposite directions from finish to start and then from start to finish. And that means it will be riding against the flow of traffic. Good morning. Man, that traffic, thank you. We got off that road just in time.
Live coverage of the 35th Annual Will Rogers State Park 5 and 10K Run event will begin after this word from Jennifer Rogers.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Rogers, and you're watching the 35th Annual Will Rogers 10K Run, live on LA Regional 4th.
Hi, I'm Rex Miser, Rex Talent Management, and I would love to introduce my amazing talent to you.
Hi, I'm Min Wen, Film Director and Consultant for Rex Talent Management.
I'm Paul Otson.
Hi, my name is Grant First.
Jorge Rodas here.
Amber Urban.
Seamus O'Reilly.
I'm Lauren First.
My name is Billy Kang.
I'm Brenda Miranda.
Haley Gabriel. Dumont Mars.
Hi, I'm Amber Barbell.
I'm Julie Daniels.
I'm Gustav Sage.
I'm Cameron Radice. Initiative.
Compassionate.
Excellent.
Proactive.
Connected.
Communication.
Awesome. Family.
Best.
Commitment.
Loyal.
Caring. Cool.
Spectacular. Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management
Rex Talent Management
Rex Talent Management.
is the place to be.
Is the place to be.
It's the place to be.
Rex Talent Management is the place to be.
Attention! If you're 18 years or older and have ever thought of getting into radio or TV, call 714-842-0100 right now. The Academy of Radio and TV is looking for a limited number of people to train for exciting careers in radio and TV. Classes fill fast, so call 714-842-0100. At the Academy, you'll get hands-on training in our state-of-the-art broadcast studios. Call for your appointment. Financial aid is available if qualified. Call 714-842-0100.
Hi, I'm Bob Klein. I'm the Vice President of St. John's, and we're here in the Tarbell Atrium at St. John's, which is the main entry to the new St. John's Hospital. There's a bunch of us that have volunteered for the Will Rogers 5 and 10K. I've been involved since the start 35 years ago, and just recently the hospital decided that they wanted to support the race, and we stepped up and became the title sponsor. And most interesting, this year we have the Spirit of St. John's team.
The Spirit of St. John's is a new team for the Will Rogers Palisades 5 10K run walk that we're starting this year for all cancer patients, their families, friends, survivors, relatives, anyone who wants to be part of it. We'll be walking and running together on July 4th in Palisades Park.
Can you describe what the runners go through the course of the 10K?
It's an interesting run. Everybody is really hyped up at the beginning. It's very exciting. They're playing rocky music, and it takes off, and the first mile and a third is downhill. So people are really going fast, and they're going faster than they should go. And they're caught up in the fun, the excitement, the moment, and they're going down a hill. Now they all know that at about mile 3 or 4, you start going up the switchbacks, which are real hard. But they aren't expecting that after that first mile, while they're still in the Huntington Palisades, they have to go uphill another mile. And that takes them, and it really wears them out. And then they got 4 more miles, including the mountain. So it's a hard 10K. It's a hilly 10K. It's hard.
For about 15 years now, my wife and I have helped to sponsor the race. Another sponsor is our wonderful hospital, St. John's in Santa Monica, and together. We obviously support it financially, which is great to support some causes in the community. But even more than that, we feel that we're very lucky to be part of the fabric of the community, as St. John's is. We've all taken our kids to St. John's at various points of the day and night. And so it's great to be a partner with St. John's.
And welcome to the 35th annual Will Rogers 5 and 10K run from Pacific Palisades, California. Now I'm with Thomas Hathaway, and we're having a little bit of microphone challenge, so we're going to buddy breathe here. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
I wanted to make sure you're included from the very start because you're such a big part of it. We started the parade, the run this morning, showing your all-night effort to measure this, and now it's officially certified. Tell us a little about that.
Yes, it is. Well, we're pleased to report that the course is now officially 10,000 meters in length, according to U.S.A. track and field standards. We undertook the measurement process over the last month and a half, and so the course is now official.
Now I noticed that in the video we had of you taping, of us taping you working, you had to check temperature of the ground, temperature of the air. Tell me some of the mechanicals that you had to go through.
Well, there's a number of parameters that we have to adhere to measure the course officially, and among those are making sure that the time we measure is recorded and the temperature, and also the course has to be measured very accurately. It has to be measured within 0.0008 when you measure it in opposite directions. That's 8 meters out of 10,000, about 25 feet.
And that's phenomenally tight. They're very picky.
Well, they are picky, and justifiably so. We want to make sure that their course is as close to 10,000 meters as we can humanly make it. There's a lot of variables involved, of course, a lot of curves to ride, and a lot of hills up and down. So it's a tight process.
Now, the doctor was showing us the animation, and he said that there were many hills, and he was saying that there are fewer injuries now, that the 5K has been added. So for the people who say, no, I feel like I'm at my limit, my body's talking to me, they can kind of make a turn and wrap it up at 5K if they want.
That's correct. The 5K is an option that many people elect to choose, and some even walk it. The 10K is a very, very challenging course. For an urban course, it actually has 440 vertical feet of climbing. And what makes the course so challenging is that almost 3/4 of that climbing happens after the halfway point. So the runners will have run halfway, and they haven't even done 1/4 of the climbing.
Oh, that's amazing. So you're halfway done, and then it gets harder.
That's right.
Okay, I understand that. Now, we are in front of the new improved start banner here with the St. John's Health Center sponsorship on there, and we saw a little bit from them at the beginning of the show. How important are they to the functioning of this event?
Well, they're very important, and they've been wonderful sponsors and supporters of the race for many, many years. All of our sponsors are really important to making it happen. It's a community project.
Okay, very, very good. And we have people lined up with, if they're a 5K specialist or a 5-mile standing, these are how fast people are going. And so this looks a little less silly. I'm going to treat this like a real microphone, and we're just going to try and talk into it this way, and I'm going to ask the cameraman to throw me major cues when it's time for a commercial. Let's try that. It's silly, but we improvise. It's a live event. So tell me about that, what they're best at there, Thomas.
At St. John's Health Center?
Well, I mean, the 5, it's where they say 5 mile, yeah.
Yes, well, the signs are intended to segregate the runners into appropriate speed so that when we start, we don't have faster runners trying to run over slower runners. And especially with people that might be pushing a stroller at the back, we want them at the back.
Yeah, we don't want them under the faster runners.
That's correct.
There you have it. And the great thing about this run I'm watching is that you truly have some of everybody. You have the smallest, the youngest, the oldest, and we met Lynn Borland a little bit earlier. He might be setting a record today.
Well, we'll see. Lynn Borland is now in the age 70 group, and he's one of our historically faster runners. We're looking for him to run a pretty fast time. Certainly for a 70-year-old, very fast.
Yeah, he was very funny at the last meeting where they said, well, what time do you expect? And he says, I expect to be done by noon tomorrow.
Well, he's very modest. Lynn is an outstanding runner, and for many, many years, sub-40-minute 10K runner. On this course, that's quite an achievement.
And you said it was 440 feet of vertical climb?
It's about 440 vertical feet of climbing on the 10K. That's correct.
That's madness. Now, I know that as soon as they take off down Alma Real, the first thing they do is drop, 110, 120 feet before they get down to the edge of the cliff?
Yes, that's right. They drop about 100 feet during the first mile. It's very fast, and everybody's very excited to run the first mile faster than they ever thought possible. But, of course, that's just a head fake because the course really rears its head starting on the Toyopa Hill.
That's fantastic. Now, I hear them talking. He's doing a little warm-up over there. We're not quite ready for the actual gun yet. That's the way to start an event. We have them revving the pace car, and that's a beautiful thing. And this is Bill Simon now on the platform. Let's take a look at what Bill has to say. They are moving the ropes now and the strings. Can you get that? Thank you, sir. Runners are backed up all the way to Sunset Boulevard this morning. They usually say that there's between 2,500 and 3,000 participating runners. As we're preparing for this, we have a special invocation going right now. The 35th annual Pacific Palisades 5 and 10K run, first time ever televised on KVMD and LARegional4th.com. With Thomas Hathaway, I'm Timothy Greenwood this morning. Light mist this morning under a cloudy overcast. Stand by for the gun. Here's the starting pistol now. And they're off. They are off. There they come across the main runway. We are underway. The Rocky music has begun. It's tradition here at Pacific Palisades, California, the 35th annual Will Rogers Pacific Palisades 5 and 10K run. The young, the old, hats, no hats, shoes, slippers, all kinds of goodies, all happening at once. We have sirens, we have smiles, we have people, we have feet. We have a big run going on right now, 3,000 participants for the newly measured and certified USA Track and Field official 5 and 10K run this morning from Pacific Palisades, California, brought to you on LARegional4th.com. Part of a day-long 4th of July televised celebration. At 10 o'clock this morning, we'll be talking about backyard reports from all 5 counties. 12 noon, the Firecracker Film Festival, independent television saluting independent film. And at 2 p.m. this afternoon, like a good New Year's Eve show builds up to midnight, 2 p.m. this afternoon is the Pacific Palisades 64th Annual Americanism Parade, live from Pacific Palisades, California. 3,000 runners in the street in Pacific Palisades this morning. They set it up so the fastest runners are in the front, much like in a good race. The fastest runners are in the front, then the next tier, then the next tier. We have sirens and music and lots of cheering and fun, people by the roadside, and people making sure that this is where they go to make their times. Many people wearing headsets and using the timing function. We have a large white dog involved too. Now, do we take the dog's time and cut it in half because he has 4 feet? I'm not certain. Several dogs now. And this is one of the things. It's a community run, so as the run goes by, you get dogs, we get carriages, and yes, we have walkers. We have people who walk the race, the 5 or the 10K. There's a couple going by right now. And so, Thomas, is your microphone working? Jump right in here.
Yes, I think I'm back. Thank you. We're back on audio. Thanks a lot. So they're underway, and it looks like a good start. Nobody tripped, nobody fell, nobody got run over, so that's a good start.
That sounds like an excellent start. This one, we're even bringing our stuffed animals along for the ride.
Yes, we're seeing the stroller division go by at the moment.
The stroller division.
Always very entertaining. Usually a few dogs, every once in a while a dog pulling a stroller, but it looks like a pretty good turnout today.
Now this is an empty stroller. That's a bit of a concern to me.
Yes, I'm not sure that's legal. We'll have to look for any missing kids coming by in the next few minutes.
That's right. Now we have some double wide strollers. We have some front to back strollers. We have some with mosquito netting, but I don't think there's much chance of bugs today.
Well, the bugs are probably at a minimum on account of the rain, but it looks like all the kids are accounted for, so that's always good.
Now they are taking off on what street, and what is this intersection we're looking at, Thomas?
We're at the intersection of Alma Real Drive and Toyopa Drive, and they're heading down Alma Real, and they're going to veer off to the right and proceed downhill about 100 vertical feet to the first mile marker. The first runners are actually very close to that already.
Very good. Now we're going to turn around and go down the run, and we have a wireless camera we hope to have up and running. We're testing out lots of new technology. That would be new technology. Some new words for me too this morning. New words and new technology this morning to try to cover the event. But what matters is that this is the first time it has been covered live on TV.
Yes, it is the first time. We're very pleased to have you here to help broadcast this. And it's, as I said before, it's a community event, and we really enjoy that aspect of it.
Now, do we have special awards for the dogs that make it?
I don't think so, but maybe a milk bone here and there is always appropriate.
That's always appreciated, I'm sure. Now, what I was curious about is if the dog makes good time, do you cut it in half because he had four-wheel drive?
I think that's probably a good idea. I don't think anybody's ever asked that question before.
Well, we want to make sure that the dogs are competing fairly, and that's what matters. So as you said, we're now in the stroller and puppy dog division. And so we are near the back. Oh, there you go. Dog, stroller, and staging. Got that big sign going by.
Yes.
So we have that. And some of them,
lost my mic.
Oh, I know runners wear bandanas. We have a dog wearing a bandana just in case he overheats while he's running.
Okay, you're back.
Oh, good. And some sons and daughters. Have you seen many families run together in this one, Tom?
Oh, yes. We have families every year. Many of them have done this race. Actually, we have second-generation families during the race. And so you'll see lots of small kids running with their parents. I've run the race many times with my kids. And so that's one of the aspects that makes it so enjoyable year to year. You see the same people and the new offspring of the people you saw before.
You know, and there's a lot of tradition to this event. As you mentioned, Brian Shea was one of the founders of it 36 years ago. I guess they took the measurements, and 35 years ago it became a 10K run event.
That's correct. It started with the 10K, and as it grew in popularity, they added the 5K several years later. The first 10K was in 1978, and then the first 5K was not until 1986, so that came later.
Now we have the overcast sky and the light mist or drizzle. What do you call it in Palisades? Is it mist or drizzle?
We just call it overcast, but if you're a runner, you call it fantastic, because that's really what you're looking for. You want to have a day where it's as cool as possible. It's probably in the vicinity of maybe low 60s right now, but that cloud cover is really important for the runners to run a good time.
So all the runners will be making better time and nobody will be overheating today.
Well, it also is helpful for the medical tent. They have a lot less business on a day like today. Usually that's the biggest problem, is people dehydrating and having issues with the heat. We get a day like this maybe about once every 8 or 10 years, actually, this overcast and this cool. So it's really a wonderful day for the runners.
So it's a very special day in more ways than one.
Yes, it is. And so we're happy to be celebrating it here.
I like this a lot. Now this is the same route. You're from here. You've run this race. Now as the runners are going down Alma Real,
yes,
the first thing they do is go downhill for a mile and a tenth?
They go downhill for a mile, and then they run a quarter-mile flat, and that's the low point of the course.
That's the Corona del Mar section,
that's
right
where
along
Corona
the cliff.
del Mar meets Toyopa. And once they're on Toyopa Drive, they begin an uphill climb. It's approximately 3/4 of a mile uphill. And it only averages about 3%, but that 3% average is very deceptive. Within that 3% is a 7% pitch right in the midway part of the hill, which is steep enough to really get their attention. And we refer to that as Toyopa Hill.
Now, when you're running downhill sharply or uphill with that kind of a pitch, is that harder on your ankles or your knees or your low back? What feels it first?
Typically, in the early stages of the race, you don't feel it that much going downhill. You know, your adrenaline is going. In the latter stages of the race, the downhill can be very punishing. The uphills will slow you down, but the downhill is very punishing on your legs.
And so it's more than just your toes run into the front of your shoes.
Your toes do run into the front of your shoes, but you know, oftentimes your knees hurt, your ankles hurt, and not just your toes.
And so running downhill would be more like for normal people walking backward, something that would cause unusual stress.
Yeah, it's a lot of wear and tear on your body when you're trying to run fast downhill, especially on a paved surface. But they'll be running uphill during that second mile, and then once they get to the 2-mile mark, it's about a half a mile flat. And then they begin a descent into Rustic Canyon. And the Rustic Canyon descent goes down approximately a grade of about 3 to 4%.
Now let me roll you back just for a second. As we're coming up Toyopa, they do a very special turn, U-turn, and come back. We were nicknaming it the zigzag on Pampas Ricas.
That's correct. They do a long U-turn on Pampas Ricas, which is a large boulevard-style street through a neighborhood. And so we'll get the opportunity to see them running through that area. In fact, they're probably there about now. I don't know exactly where they are on the course.
Indeed. Now the lead runners are at Pampas Ricas, and they're able then to stop for water if they need it. How does a water stop work? Do they really stop, or do the water stop people throw water at them? How does that go?
It depends on how fast they're trying to run. The lead runners might not stop at all, especially on the 5K. They're not likely to stop. The 10K runners might grab a cup as they run past. The people running slower might, slow down, take a drink, and then continue on. So it just depends on what pace they're running.
And so then what we have is after Pampas Ricas, they continue north on Toyopa, and this is the parting of the ways for the 5 and the 10K.
That's correct. Once they run out onto Sunset Boulevard, the 5K runners will do a U-turn and head back down to the finish line here. The 10K runners will continue on into Rustic Canyon and on their way to Will Rogers State Historic Park.
Now, down into Rustic Canyon, this is known primarily as the place where everyone loses their cell phone signal.
That's right. Rustic Canyon is notorious for canceling out cell phone signals despite the company's best efforts to get a good signal.
And so then while we have that going on, we have the right after Rustic Canyon, the runners get to experience something that most of the public never does, and that is the back way up into Will Rogers State Park.
That's right. It's a special part of this race. Runners get to run into Will Rogers Park through a gate that's normally locked to the public. And that gate is referred to as the East Gate. And once they're at that gate, they'll be running under eucalyptus trees that are quite beautiful, and it's quite scenic.
Now, how long is that run? The part that comes off of Sunset and into the back, up off Evans Road, how long is that section, Thomas?
Well, that section from where they depart Sunset to the top is about 2/3 of a mile. But what's interesting about this course is that before they even get to that gate, they actually are running uphill, and many of them are not necessarily aware of it as much as they might otherwise be. And it's what we call in cycling a false flat. From when they pass Will Rogers State Park Road at the bottom of Rustic, they have about 1/3 of a mile before they get to the switchbacks. And that 1/3 of a mile is actually about a 3% average grade.
So it's just a gentle uphill, and they think they're running flat.
It's a gentle uphill, but there's no frame of reference because they're down in this canyon. They can't really refer to anything around them that shows them there's a slope. And they can feel it because suddenly they were going downhill, now they're going much slower, but it's not visually apparent to them.
So we have the situation where they're going up the back hill. They don't even know they're going uphill because the trees kind of don't give you a horizon.
Well, once they're into the gate, they're very aware they're going uphill because the road narrows. That's one of the deceptive parts of Sunset. It's so wide, it makes it hard to see the slope.
Okay.
But once they're on the switchbacks, the slope is very apparent, and they will be running uphill at an average grade of about 5%. But within that average, of course, there are steeper grades, steeper sections of around 7%.
And so after we take that false flat, I like the false flat. I wish my car had a false flat. You'd get home instead of waiting for AAA. Yeah. But you're going up those switchbacks, and you say that's how much of a distance before we see daylight again?
Well, the switchbacks are, again, about 2/3 of a mile. So altogether, the false flat of 1/3 of a mile plus the switchbacks of 2/3 of a mile, that's a total climb of about 1 mile in length. So
very good. And so then they're coming up the back. Is it called the back side or the east side? What's the correct term for Will Rogers?
It's actually officially called the East Gate Road. We usually refer to it as the east switchbacks or the rear switchbacks.
And so after they come up the back way, we're at Will Rogers State Park, and this vista lays out in front of you with the home to the right, the polo grounds to the left.
Yes, it's quite spectacular. The runners will make a curve on the last switchback to the right. They'll be following along the edge of Will Rogers' famous polo field, which is right adjacent to his historic home.
Yes.
And they'll run across the parking lot, and then they'll exit the park at the front gate and come down the front switchbacks.
And now the front switchbacks, we had tape of you doing this at 3 in the morning where you're pedaling through, measuring it, and you very kindly said, "Good morning," as you went past the camera, so we had that on the video this morning.
Okay, well, that was an interesting morning. That was the first time we measured the course and determined that it was, in fact, short. And then when we remeasured it subsequent in May, we did the same thing all over again, and actually, we only had a couple of close calls. One was a skunk that walked right up alongside my bike, and for a moment I was in jeopardy, but the skunk decided to leave me alone that morning, so that was good.
They give you special dispensation when you're measuring. It's like I had to get this little curve in my path because there was this black and white furry guy.
No, the USA Track and Field doesn't allow for skunk movement, so we had to wait and be patient while he exercised his God-given right to a right of way.
Cross the street.
Yes.
And you know why the skunk did cross the street?
Oh, geez, I probably should.
To get to the other side.
Okay, I'll go with that.
And you know why the chicken went halfway across the road?
Wait, I thought he was going all the way across.
It's because she wanted to lay it on the line.
Got it.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say she chickened out.
But that could be it, too. Thomas Hathaway, Tim Greenwood, we are here at the 35th Annual Will Rogers Pacific Palisades 5K, 10K Run Extravaganza, and officially sanctioned by which body?
Well, it's officially sanctioned for the distance by USA Track and Field.
That's fantastic. So the people who are running, who are planning their runs and say, I only want to participate in official ones, this is now on their list.
That's right.
Fantastic. So we're coming down the front now of Will Rogers State Park, past the main gate, and is that called Will Rogers Road?
That's Will Rogers State Park Road. That's correct.
Okay, and that comes down about what distance before you hit Sunset Boulevard again?
The actual slope is roughly 2/3 of a mile down, but it's actually the steepest part of the course. The slope hits about 9% on those switchbacks.
Wow.
So it's very steep, and coming that late, it actually is pretty hard on the runner's legs coming downhill.
And so that's that. And again, which part of the legs takes knees or ankles?
You know, pretty much all over, but mostly the lower extremities from the knees, the shins, the ankles.
Because they're pointing down as you're doing it, taking more weight.
You're effectively decelerating at each step, so that impact, affects the body.
9.8 meters per second divided
Yes,
by. I get it.
gravity
Okay.
affecting it.
And so now we're down at Sunset, and you think, oh, this is great. I'm on Sunset again, but then you have a hill.
Well, the good news is they're on the way home back to the Palisades. The bad news is they have one more hill to go, and that hill is a tough one. It's a half a mile. The grade average is only about 4%, but it comes late in the race, and that's what makes it so challenging. Now, really experienced runners know that hill well, and they have broken it down into little sections. There actually is a very small section, more or less in the middle of that hill. I call it the shelf. It's very imperceptible to a motorist. You would drive past it at 40 miles an hour without even noticing it. But to the runners who know it, it's a very short interval, about maybe 700 feet long, that they're able to actually do a little recovery on if they're well conditioned. So it's only about a 2% grade at that location on the shelf.
And so that's a less of an uphill.
Right, slightly less uphill. They're able to recover just ever so slightly and make a final push.
And if you know that's coming, how do you take advantage of that opportunity to recover?
Basically, it's a psychological thing. You know it's coming, so when you're there, you just relax a little bit more. You try to keep your stride opened up, and you can feel the slight recovery. Again, it doesn't affect an athlete that's not particularly well conditioned, but those that are will notice it. And then they'll make the final push to Chautauqua. Now this year there's a change because of the new course. Instead of continuing straight down, here comes our lead 5K runners are coming in now.
Very good, a bicycle leader, and we have our first 5K winner coming in, right?
That's correct. Coming in at 16:21, 16:22 it looks like.
Very good. And our second one just clearing the way now. 16.
Yes, we have a time clock just to the right and left of the finish line.
About 16.
16:38 approximately.
Very good. And the third one right behind. These are the 5K people.
Yes, these are the 5K runners coming in. Looks like one of the younger entrants. Oh, maybe he's not. He's not an official entrant, so he's just bailed out.
Hey, he just lived around the corner, and he was just headed over.
Third place is still up for grabs.
Up, here he comes, and pushing hard, dark blue and white.
Here comes our 5K winner right here.
Fantastic. Come on over, sir.
Hi, what is your name?
U.S.A.
That's your name?
Yeah. Oh, it's not on there anymore. U.S.A.
Okay.
Fantastic. Come on over here, sir.
We have picture on camera 1.
And
we have the 5K winner of the 35th annual Pacific Palisades, Will Rogers, 5 and 10K run right here. Please tell us your name, sir.
U.S.A.
Very good. And where do you come from? Where did you come from today to run?
I'm staying in Pacific Palisades with my aunt right over there.
And where are you from originally?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. You came out from Cleveland. Have you run here before?
No, sir.
And so what made you want to come out to Pacific Palisades?
I had an internship.
And so you're in school out here?
I'm doing a summer internship for Cornell.
Oh, very good. Very good. And so how did you find the course today?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. I got a little turned around
please.
Up over there.
Yes.
They're yelling left, left. And I couldn't see where the left turn was, and I almost cut it short. It was a great course. It was fun.
Okay, and where did you separate yourself from the other runners? Was it from the very beginning, or did you have to pass anybody?
Right at the last turnaround where the 5K and 10K split.
Oh, very good, very good. So was that your plan, was to make a move late, or were you planning to lead it from the beginning?
My plan was to have fun.
Excellent, excellent. That's what we like.
You can have fun and win. That's a good combination.
Can I just dedicate this to my cousins over there who colored this beautiful shirt for me?
And are they nearby? Can we bring them over? Well, come on over, cousins. Sasha, Clara, come on over. Come on over. There you go. So these are the cousins, right? You are?
Sasha.
Hi, Sasha. And Clara's a little shy with Piglet there. That's okay. And so how do you feel about him dedicating his win to you?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And you're not too sure about any of this. That's okay. That's all right. Are you proud?
I'm very proud of him. I've been watching him train. He's great.
How long has he been training?
Oh, I don't know. I think he's been an athlete for a long time, many years, but he's just staying with us for the summer, and so I'm inspired by his run.
Thank you. So what a great summertime pastime here. Just pop out and win the race.
It's like a 2-month vacation.
Very good. Well, we want to thank you again
very much.
and let you wind down a little, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Live coverage of the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run event is brought to you by Rex Talent Management.
Hi, I'm Rex Miser, Rex Talent Management, and I would love to introduce my amazing talent to you.
Hi, I'm Min Wen, film director and consultant for Rex Talent Management.
I'm Paul Watson.
Hi, my name is Grant First.
Put it with us here.
Amber Urban.
Seamus O'Reilly.
I'm Lauren First.
My name is Billy Kang.
I'm Brenda Miranda.
Haley Gabriel. Dumont Mars.
Hi, I'm Amber Barbell.
I'm Julie Daniels.
I'm Gustav Sage.
I'm Cameron Radice. Initiative.
Compassionate.
Excellent.
Proactive.
Connected.
Communication.
Awesome. Family.
Best.
Commitment.
Loyal.
Caring.
Cool. Spectacular. Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management
Rex Talent Management
Is the place to be.
Is the place to be.
It's the place to be.
Rex Talent Management is the place to be.
Happy 4th of July. The 1K Kids Fun Run is scheduled to start at 9:15 this morning. We'll be bringing full coverage of all the pavement pounding action. This is a huge event, you know. It's been going on for, well, as long as I can remember. The kids will start going east, turn left on Drummond, and turn left on Toyopa. Well, they'll return at the same finish line as the Will Rogers 5K and 10K run. Stay tuned for the 1K Kids Fun Run. I'm Amber, back to you.
We have our live camera up. This is the bicyclist, and this is our lead 10K runner now. And it appears that he's going up the back edge of Will Rogers. That's what that looks like to me. Is that what it looks like to you, Thomas?
Yes, it looks like he's going up the switchbacks. I need a little frame of reference here. It does look like
square
he's,
to us there, Pat. Otherwise, it disappears. Thank you.
Yes, it looks like he's going up the Eastgate switchbacks, and the lead biker is just ahead of him. So this is obviously our lead runner. Okay, now he just crossed over a timing mat. So that should be the 4 mile mark there. He's making the turn for the second to last switchback.
This is very exciting, and this is the first ever live telecast of the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run, the 35th annual, and our monitor just went out, Pat. So try to get that to come back to life. We had our lead runner coming up through the switchbacks. This was the part adjacent to Evans Road, and you said this is the one that had the falls flat as soon as you left Sunset.
Well, the falls flat, he's already well past that. That's in the bottom of Rustic Canyon, so he's on his way up to the very top. He's actually cresting the polo field as we speak right now.
Very good, and so he's coming up just into that beautiful view of Will Rogers State Park, which was Will Rogers' home, and his wife deeded it to the state as a state park after his passing.
That's correct. He died, of course, in the tragic plane crash in Alaska, 1935.
We actually have a special dedication to him later at noon today, where we have the Firecracker Film Festival is shot in part at the California Theater in San Bernardino, which was the last place Will Rogers performed.
Oh, wonderful.
And I believe we have a winner over here.
First place in the women's 5K, I believe.
Very good. She's being interviewed as we speak.
Yes.
And let's check back on our runner. He is in Will Rogers State Park, and he is passing the polo fields. Those are the polo fields to the right, Will Rogers' famous polo fields at Will Rogers State Park.
He's crossing the parking lot with a polo field behind him, and he looks to be pretty relaxed and in pretty good shape. He doesn't look to be overly stressed at the moment. You can tell with his hands are loose. His body is still pretty upright, pretty open stride, so he's looking good right now.
This is fantastic. We have the special wireless technology. Some of it breaks up once in a while, but it's 100% better than saying, oh, I don't know, where is he? Oh, I don't know.
This is great to see the coverage actually live.
The bright green
seen this
sneakers.
before.
Maybe that makes green means go, and it's working for him.
That seems to be de rigueur these days to run in bright colored sneakers. They're doing that at the U.S. Olympic trials.
Now, he's looking back behind him. It appears we have some other runners coming up behind him. Now we're all back live here at the start-finish line, and we do have our ladies winner. Congratulations. Tell us your name, please.
Sarah Jurek.
Sarah. Yeah. How does it feel?
It feels great. It's a good way to start the 4th of July.
And so what was your official time?
I think it was like 19:35 or something.
19:35. How does that compare to your other best?
It's a little slower than usual. I mean, I don't run competitively anymore, so it's great.
Now, what about the weather today for running?
Perfect run weather.
That's exactly what you said, Thomas. It was just going to be great, and everyone, all the runners are digging it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, have you run in the Will Rogers 510K before?
No, I just moved here this year, so this is my first time on this race.
And you just said, the first thing I'm going to do when I move here
Actually,
is go win the race.
I'm one of the doctors over at Santa Monica Orthopedic Group, and our group is covering the race, so they said, you need to go run. So I said, okay.
And so a doctor who is healthy. This is what I like about the modern age, because when I was a kid, all the doctors smoked and said, yeah, so what?
Well, I mean, I still smoke, but no, I'm just kidding.
And so in the course of the run, or in the run course, depending on how I'm going to phrase that, what was a challenging moment for you? Do you remember?
Actually, I mean, just there's a little like a longer uphill that was a little bit of a challenge, but it was led up to by a really nice downhill, so just kind of ramped up and go. So it was a great course.
Fantastic. Now, did you get a false sense of security on that first mile downhill?
No.
You've been listening to Thomas. You knew better.
I know the first mile. Don't think anything. Just take that one easy and then push at the end.
Now, did you practice on this route before you ran
no,
today?
I've never actually really been up in this neighborhood before, but I've been warned that it was hilly, so I knew what to expect.
So you just walked in, never been on this route, and just decided to win.
I did. Well, I mean, I wanted to. But I didn't know what would happen, so.
That's great. And through the wonder of television, we're watching two pictures at once.
All right.
The upper corner is the 10K leader, and we're speaking with the ladies winner right now. So this is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, and congratulations again. That's pretty impressive, Thomas.
That's very impressive to come out and win on the first time she runs a course. And as she mentioned, she's part of the Santa Monica Orthopedic Group, and they're the doctors that provide our medical support for the race.
Indeed.
So her partners are over in the tent in case anything should happen to any of the runners if they need assistance.
Kevin Earlman was one of the people who was on the Open telling us about the difficulty of the course. We're back looking at the...
Oops, there we go.
My own hearing. I don't know if they...
Yeah.
Also, where he's coming down. They just repaved this. Now, does new paving help or hurt a runner in a situation like this, Thomas?
Well, it helps them in the sense that it keeps the footing a little more even, a little bit smoother. So, and that road was just terrible, so they just repaved that a few weeks ago.
But if it was a warmer day, would new pavement be hotter?
You know, in theory, it would absorb and reflect a little bit more radiant heat. So, yeah, it probably would be a little bit hotter.
And back over here live, it's all live, but back over here at the start-finish, more people pouring across the finish line with 27:20s, 27:28s, 27:29s coming through right now. Now, these people would have run the 5K, Thomas?
That's correct. These are still 5K runners coming in, and you can see now a few of the runners that are trying to set personal bests, which is really what this race is all about. Whether you win or don't win, it's all about, you know, setting new goals for yourself and improving and trying to reach those goals.
And we have our first stroller at 27:52. How about that?
That's not bad. That's moving along. So.
And that's a stroller with a passenger.
That's right. That's under 9 minutes a mile with a stroller. That's moving along on hills.
At the corner of Toyopa Drive and Alma Real here for the 35th annual Will Rogers Pacific Palisades 5 and 10K run. These are 5K runners coming across, and the 10K runner is the one that we were watching in insert just a moment ago. He's coming out of Pacific Palisades right now. So there's really, they start together, but we have two runs at the finish line.
That's correct. They start together and then they separate at the 5K turnaround, and then they rejoin here effectively, although we keep them separate by cones at the finish area. And the lead 10K runner is now on that last hill coming up Sunset.
Oh, so there he is. He's coming down. Looks like he's on Sunset now.
He's on Sunset Boulevard.
And that's right in that low spot where our signal gets a little choppy, but it's worth it. because we're watching history here. This is the lead runner of the 10K run in the 35th annual, never before televised, Will Rogers 5 and 10K. And you're looking at a live shot in the corner of the 5K runners pouring across the finish line. 29 now, 29:01, 29:02. Those are the times. And back to our lead runner. Our camera's back on Sunset.
Yes.
And he is just coming out of that Rustic Canyon low spot.
He's making that final push up the Sunset Hill.
Now this looks like this may be that little semi-rest spot you were talking about.
He is actually very close to it. He's actually on it now at this curve.
Now the other people are 10K people that have not yet.
That's right. They're 10K outbound, and he's now on that little mini flat section I described. It's about 2%. And he's hugging close to the apex, as you can see, to run the shortest distance, doing a good job following the lead bike.
That's great. Now, for his best time, what he wants to do is hug that center line on the curve.
He wants to hug the center line where the course approaches that tangent, and then, of course, you'll see him veer off of that as he heads toward the next apex, which would be a curve on the right side of the road.
And that's where he's headed. He's headed off to the right to cut that corner. It's exactly what you would do if you were riding a motorcycle or a bicycle. You try to straighten all the curves you can.
Well, in a way, but actually it's a little bit different, because when you're riding a bicycle or a motorcycle, you would veer into the lane and then dive through the apex, whereas when you're running, you're at a slower speed, so you run a more direct path to the apex.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, and back here at Toyopa and Alma Real, more 5K winners pouring across the finish line. And the runners are coming across now with the times of 30:25, 30:26, 30:27. So it's been a very busy time here, just 30 minutes into the race today.
That's right, and they'll keep pouring in for another 20 minutes at least. So we'll have the dogs and the strollers and everybody rolling in for at least an hour.
We have many people around, and this is where people start coming in. But the very young runners now just putting on the gas and pouring across that finish line. They see that clock, get a little extra motivation.
In about, maybe just a few minutes, we're going to have the official pace car and the race camera car coming through this finish area.
Yes.
And they're going to turn right off the course right in front of us here. So we'll have to kind of step back just a foot or two to give them
We'll become
room.
History for a different reason.
That's correct.
So these are the 5K runners. Vibrant colors, young and old, tall, short, all kinds of descriptions coming through, but teal is very popular today.
It looks to be popular, and certainly 31 minutes and 30 seconds of running hasn't dampened the enthusiasm on their faces. They all have a big smile, most of them, and they're happy to be at the finish.
And both of our winners commented on the beautiful running weather. Now there's just a tiny bit of mist, a whole lot less than there was, and still the overcast sky. So it's beautiful for photography and fantastic for running.
Fantastic conditions. Could not be better, really. This is for the Palisades in July, this is as good as it gets.
Now, do you suppose giving an award to the man over the Chamber of Commerce had anything to do with the Chamber of Commerce weather?
Well, we do what we can.
Okay.
That might have helped a little bit.
Very good indeed. Now we're going to have our 10K winner joining us in not much time at all, because he was out on Sunset. There he is. He's on Sunset. He's approaching. Now, does he come across Drummond or Cary there?
He is going to come north on Chautauqua to Drummond, and then he'll return on Drummond to
they have that
Sunset.
new turn.
That's right. So he has to complete that little detour up into the Alphabet Streets. Here comes our cars off the course here. Excuse us.
So we're going to have him come down Sunset. He makes a hard right turn on Chautauqua.
Actually, he makes a hard right hairpin turn onto Chautauqua.
Yes.
And let's see if I can, do we have a visual
And then
on him?
we will again in a moment.
Okay. So
and
he's probably on that about now. Actually, he's probably on Drummond at the moment. And
there we
making
go.
his way. Okay, yes, he is.
Blue roofs.
He is on Sunset, and so he is very close here. He just passed the 6 mile mark, and so there's a 6 mile mark sign, that white board on the right.
Oh, very good.
So 2/10 of a mile to go. He's on the finishing stretch.
So has he already done the sidestep at Chautauqua?
Yes, he finished.
Okay,
that,
so he'll be turning on Drummond or Cary?
He's now going to be turning on to Cary just in a moment here.
Very good. So he'll be making,
as
you look at your screen, he'll be turning to the viewer's right.
That's correct. To the viewer's right, his left, and here he goes. Turning on to Cary.
And that's because the police motorcycles are passing us now, so he's a block or so behind us. You hear the sirens here.
That's right.
There's the lead car. Here he comes.
There he is.
Here he comes. 3:3:40 is what the announcer said. 3:3:40.
I think he just went through about 33:47 or so at the finish. And that's your winner.
3:3:47.
Okay.
According to the room announcer, and we do appreciate that. He'll be over with us shortly. Who is our location announcer, Thomas?
We have Bud Jacobs is doing the announcing for the finishing at the moment, and he shares that duty with Bob Benton.
Very good. We want to thank them for their skill over many years and keeping thousands of runners informed and safe and organized. In fact, that's the thing I am most impressed with about everyone in Pacific Palisades is there's huge events. There's the run in the morning. There's the parade in the afternoon. Thousands of people involved, 100% safety. Everybody's calm and pleasant.
Well, like I said before, it is a community event, and you know, people like Buddy Jacobs and Bob Benton are so important and great for the event because they know so many of the people here year to year, and oftentimes can announce people by name when they finish.
This is fantastic. Still more runners coming across from the 5K run. When will we begin to see people in the 10K? He had a pretty good lead on some folks.
Well, the second place runner should be through about now if it's not already gone by. It's a little hard to see past all the other runners, but
and they do come through in two different lanes. We sort of split the street down the middle.
That's correct. Yes, they do. And here
so
comes our
the side
winner.
Closest to us would be the 10K winner.
That's correct. And here's our 10K winner coming over here.
Very good. Very good. You get to meet him in person. Hello, sir, and congratulations today.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Encore Tarneja.
And where do you come to us from?
West LA.
Wow.
Right down the street.
Well, and to what do you credit your win today in the 10K of Will Rogers?
Beautiful weather, good fans, good course.
Have you run here before?
Yeah, I train out here a lot.
Okay, so you have run the course, so you're familiar with the nuances.
Right, I am.
Very good. And is this one of your better times?
I've never raced the race, so I can't tell you if it's my better time, but it was a good time, yes.
Very good. Now, do you intend to be back again?
Yeah, next year.
That's great. Thomas, what would you like to say to this man?
Excellent job. That's an excellent time, and as you know, the course is longer than it was in previous years, so you can make adjustments for your time versus those you see in the record book. Were you all alone the whole time? What was your strategy today?
Actually, I was in about 10th place until about second mile, and then I started picking people off going up hills. So
you picked them off as you went up the switchbacks, or before that?
Before in the neighborhood here. In the
you came up Toyopa.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
And it was the turnaround at Pampas Ricas in any way a distraction for you, or it worked okay?
No, not at all. That's the long stretch where it's straight. Yeah, no, that's fine. Perfect.
And going out, did you feel that little increase as you're coming up the back way on Evans Road? That little, what did you call it?
Well, in the bottom of Rustic Canyon, when you actually get to the bottom as you're going out, it's actually a false flat. It feels pretty flat, but it's about a 3% grade. I'm sure you felt that.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. You feel any little hill when you're running.
and coming down the hills, was that particularly stressful? Did you feel it in your legs or knees?
No, actually, that helped me recover. I was able to get my breath a little bit and have some quicker turnover without breathing so hard, so it was nice.
Now the sharp turn coming out of Sunset up into Chautauqua, did that throw you at all?
That's the new addition, right?
Right.
I was expecting it, so no, it didn't throw me, no.
Very good. And how do you feel about being the 10K winner today?
I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to have a good July 4th now.
Fantastic. We're going to let you go enjoy it.
He gets to ride in the parade when you win the race, so hopefully he'll
fantastic.
Be around for the
so we'll see you this
parade.
afternoon.
Okay, maybe. What time is that?
The parade starts at 2 p.m.
Okay, I'll try to be here.
You rest up before that, we'll put you on TV again.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks you, and congratulations. Fantastic. There he is, our 10K winner for the 35th annual Will Rogers 5 and 10K. Wow, how do you feel about that, Thomas?
Well, it's always exciting to see a champion win a race like this. It's a very challenging course, and you know, his time, I think it was 33 and change, you know, probably well into 32 on the old course, so that's a good time.
ABHAA aboard the U.S.A.T.F George Washington. I am from South Central Los Angeles County. And I would like to wish everybody watching the LA Region 4th a happy 4th of July.
And will there be a celebration aboard ship for the 20th anniversary of the George Washington?
We'll probably have a Steel Beach picnic on the flight deck, which we call it a Steel Beach because the flight deck is made out of steel with a layer of non-skid. And we get together, we get as many people as we can up there and have barbecues, and why not bring out the grills. Have it a little place, a feeling like back at home when you bring out the grill and have some burgers, some hot dogs.
And all this with an ocean view.
All this with an ocean view.
We are back at the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run. This is the view at Toyopa and Alma Real as the 5K runners, and now the other 10K runners are coming through. Here we have another one. Here he is, yes. white headset.
We've had several come through. He's trying to break 40 minutes. That's a big mark, and he's going to do it.
45, he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's going to be 39:49, looks like. That's an excellent time. Here comes Kara.
Hi, come on over. Come on over.
This is Kara Barnard.
Happy 4th, everyone.
Hi, Kara. The camera's over
you.
there, and we're congratulating you on your win today.
Kara's our multi-time winner of this race. So, Kara, how'd it go today?
Oh, it felt wonderful. I love this weather. It's perfect. I just came from Colorado. I grew up here, and I recently relocated to Colorado. And it was really smoky and hot, and so I'm in heaven right now, back in my home turf. So
the air's better, and then it's better for running today.
Running the misty air, it's really lovely. Yeah.
And so, how did your time today compare to other times you've had?
You know, I don't know the new little bit. You know, this is the first year where they've added, I think, 500 feet. So.
Well, now it's officially sanctioned by the USA Track and Field.
Yes,
and so how do you feel about having one official on your...
Well, I just had to do it. It feels good to have that over with, and now I can have some fun.
That's right. It's the 4th of July.
Right.
And all you did is just kind of get warmed up.
Right.
And so what does the rest of the day hold for you?
Well, it's my father's birthday.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's always a brilliant day for our family. So the parade and a little party tonight, and fireworks, of course, a hike in the hills.
Well, we are happy for you, Thomas.
Yes, Kara is way too modest. Kara is a multi-time winner of this race, 5-time winner of the 5K. And
5-time winner of the 5K.
And perhaps even more impressive, 5-time winner of the 10K. So
good heavens.
She is a fantastic runner and probably the all-time record holder on the most wins on these courses. So.
I'm a sucker for this race. I said I'm a sucker for this race. I can't help myself.
So what do you like so much about it?
Oh, come on, look around. It's great. It's so Americana, and of course.
Does the scenery help when you're running, that it's in a beautiful place?
So happy and lovely. It's the best. The energy is fantastic. So yeah, and the Huntington, the neighborhoods are beautiful. They really are so festive. So.
And so if you were just running down a street somewhere that wasn't pretty, it wouldn't be as motivating.
Oh no, I'm a beauty hog. I take in beauty like crazy.
A beauty hog.
I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Palisades 35th annual Will Rogers 5 and 10K run, won by a beauty hog.
Yes.
And that'll be in the Pally Post now.
We wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you, Kara, for gracing us.
Thank you, Kara, and congratulations. Very, very good. How many time winner, Thomas?
She's won the 5K 5 times before. This is her 6th win.
Wow.
And she's won the 10K 5 times over the years. She's been here many years and grew up in this area, so fantastic runner.
And as she said, the scenery helps. The scenery helps every time you talk to people about decorating an office. Scenery helps you do better work.
Well, I think so. You know, it certainly adds to the fun and the enjoyment. It doesn't make the course any easier, but it makes the experience a lot more enjoyable.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. More runners coming around the bend on Toyopa now. This is the final run. Final path of people coming in on the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run, 35th annual today.
That's right.
We're broadcast live.
These runners are now trying to break 43 minutes, and I don't know if he's passed us by yet, but we would be looking for Lynn Borland to come in any time now.
That's right. Lynn is our gentleman who was celebrating his 70th birthday, which was a few weeks ago, by running in the 10K run today. Up, the gentleman in the red with the USA shirt, trying to shave a few seconds off at the last moment. And this is very exciting. Now, Thomas, I have somebody I'd like you to meet. This gentleman we chatted with a little bit earlier. Hello.
Howdy.
And tell everybody your name, and there's our camera.
Michael O'Hara.
This is Michael, and he has a very important function with the Rotary Club in Pacific Palisades. Tell us more.
That's right. We're having the second annual Pali Tri, 8 a.m. Sunday, October 21st. And we started at Palisades High School. We do biking, running, and swimming.
A triathlon. So if you missed the 5 and 10K, well, maybe this is for you.
This might be it, or maybe we see it on television. Who knows?
We can arrange that.
That would be wonderful.
Now, how do people find out more about the Pali Tri?
They need to call the Palisades Rotary Club, and it's we're in the book, and we'd love to have your calls, and we'd love to have you come.
And we'll put a link on the website at laregional4th.com for the Pacific Palisades Rotary Club, so more people can easily find you for the Pali Tri.
Fantastic.
Hey, thanks for coming by.
Thanks a million.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
So all kinds of folks working hard to be healthy and be a great community today.
Well, the community really comes together on the 4th of July, and they raise money for a number of different charities, and certainly the Rotary Club does an excellent job in that.
And we have more runners, and we have a walker. You know, and I think that's one of the great things about the event is that some people run, some people walk, some people start running, and they're just happy to finish. And finishing is truly an award on a course that's challenging.
Yes, it is. It's a very deep sense of personal satisfaction to have finished a course at whatever speed you finish it at.
Now, when you say that there's a personal best involved, how do the runners track their times, Thomas?
Well, most of them just rely upon the race timing people that actually time the race to get their time. But some people actually will set their own watch, and they might look at it from time to time while they're running. In fact, some people actually have a device on their watch that's a pacemaker, or pace setter. It'll beep an alarm depending on what pace they're running, if they're running too fast or too slow. So there are some sophisticated ways technologically to monitor your pace.
Wow, because I know that they keep trying to invent things that go in your shoelaces and things that go in your sock and things that go around your neck. Do you have any experience with any of those devices?
Well, the official timekeepers actually use a small chip that is tied onto your shoe. That's how your time is registered for the race. It's a disposable chip, and it makes it very convenient to record all the times. As you can imagine, trying to record thousands of times within a short interval is not easy.
And trying to get all those chips back is probably why they said, let's just make them disposable.
Well, it took a few years, but yes, originally we had to collect all those chips, and that was a major chore, because each chip was worth several dollars, and if you didn't turn it in, you had to pay for it. So, but that period has passed us, and now they are disposable.
And much like the cards for the plastic for credit cards were very expensive, and now they sell them for coffee discounts.
Well,
and
I get about 3 or 4 in the mail almost every day, so they must be cheap.
And they say, oh, it's a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
Now, our camera crew, I want to thank everybody back in the studio. We have Henrik, and we have Bill, and we have Mark, and we have Matt, and they had just set us up so that we were in the corner below the pavement watching the winners come by. With our laregional4th.com, the central location for all the broadcasting from Pacific Palisades today. And more 5 and 10K runners. And now I see a bicycle coming across. Did we have many cyclists, or he just sort of was a volunteer from the last couple blocks?
No, I think he's just a volunteer riding along. We actually don't allow cyclists, just as a general rule. It gets too dangerous for the runners to be weaving in and around cyclists.
Indeed, because there's moving parts and there's enough to calculate. How much tunnel vision do you experience when you're running that far?
That's a good question. Tunnel vision in the sense that you aren't aware of what's going on around you, you mean?
Maybe that you're focused only with what's in front, and if someone was close or with something moving, you might not really sense the danger.
Runners often tell you that they'll experience a sense of being in a river where the water is flowing around them. There's often a sense that people are coming past you, even more than really are. So you're aware of people coming around you, but you're not really aware of all the things going on the curb and on the side.
Wow. Because there's so many things involved, and every pore of your body is involved in transporting you when you're running. You can't do this and not be fully committed.
That's pretty much correct, yes.
This is an amazing event. Now we have the shot now showing the runners coming across just before the finish line here at Toyopa and Alma Real.
These are 10K runners still coming in.
The people on the left are coming in on the 10K run, and the people on the right are finishing the 5K.
That's exactly correct. And the 10K runners now are coming in at about 48:20. And so these are still runners who are very well-conditioned athletes. It's very hard to run this course in 48 minutes.
Now our camera is right beside the finish line, so you're seeing them just 3 or 4 seconds before they come across. And now we have one of our wireless cameras a little bit further back around the bend.
Right. These are the 5K runners still coming in here against the curb.
That's fantastic. And we're in a jogging pace, but we're still in run mode. They haven't given up and started walking.
Yes, although I'm not sure exactly where this camera is situated. Is it back out on the course? It must be.
It does look like that to me. Yeah. But we have so many cameras around, and we have so many things taking place today that are new and exciting, and we'll get some of the details worked out for sure.
It looks as though these folks might be coming up North Chautauqua before they make that last turn to go back to Sunset. It's hard to tell exactly, but that's what it looks like.
Live coverage of the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run event is brought to you by Rex Talent Management.
Hi, I'm Rex Miser, Rex Talent Management, and I would love to introduce my amazing talent to you.
Hi, I'm Min Wen, film director and consultant for Rex Talent Management.
I'm Paul Otson.
Hi, my name is Grant First.
Jorge Rodas here.
Amber Urban.
Seamus O'Reilly.
I'm Lauren First.
My name is Billy Kane.
I'm Brenda Miranda.
Haley Gabriel. Dumont Mars.
Hi, I'm Amber Barbell.
I'm Julie Daniels.
I'm Gustav Sage.
I'm Cameron Radice.
Initiative.
Compassionate.
Excellent.
Proactive.
Connected.
Communication.
Awesome. Family.
Best.
Commitment.
Loyal.
Caring.
Cool.
Spectacular. Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management.
Is the place to be.
Is the place to be.
It's the place to be.
Rex Talent Management is the place to be.
This is the only place in the whole country where we have a Challenger Learning Center as well as the Columbia Memorial Center. Kids can come for a 2-hour experience where they do a simulated space mission, and there's a mission control and there's a spacecraft, and they work together and they problem solve.
The Space Center in your backyard, part of the How We Celebrate Backyard Reports, coming up at 10 o'clock today as part of the LA Regional 4th of July televised celebration. And welcome back to the Will Rogers 5K, 10K 35th Annual Run event, broadcast live on LA Regional 4th, KVMD TV, DirecTV, Dish Network, on your phone. There were some people watching on their phones walking around.
Yes, it's streamed live to people's cell phones and iPads, so I saw a few people with it.
So we want to make sure everybody participates one way or another, either by watching or by being here, and of course replays on the web later. People crossing the finish line now. And we have all the people on the left are coming across. On the left are the 10K winners, and on the right are the 5K participants.
That's right. The 10K runners are still coming in at a pretty good pace, and you can see those that see the finish line are really amping up their speed, trying to get in there as quick as possible.
So now we have like 52:24, 52:25, and so some people may have that for a 5K time, some people may have that for a 10K time.
That's right. That's right. Some of the strollers and dogs are still rolling in on the 5K side, and the 10K runners are still. These are people that do a fair amount of jogging to get conditioned for this race.
Now, do we have any dogs in strollers?
You know, I haven't seen any in the race, but I just saw one yesterday out practicing, so they do exist.
Dogs. There's somebody. What do we have? We have a stroller with.
Oh, here comes Lynn
passenger.
Borland. Here comes Lynn Borland.
Here comes Lynn. Lynn's in red. Lynn Borland.
Yes.
Our 70-year-old gentleman who has been in every race of the last 35. Yep. His time will be about 53:08.
53. Okay, good for him.
That is fantastic. That is great news. Yes, please bring us Lynn. Bob Klein wrangling folks to us. We appreciate his assistance, and we appreciate what St. John's Hospital does to and Health Center helps to keep the run happening. And one detail is that I want to mention that the proceeds from the run go to a special place.
Well, they do. They go to charities that are through the courtesy of the Optimist Club. And I don't know the specific names of them, but they do a great job making sure the money gets to the right people.
And that's what you want is, there's Lynn Borland, the gentleman in red. He's our 70-year-old runner, just coming across a moment ago with, what was it, a 53-minute time?
It was about 53 minutes, I believe I saw.
That is so exciting. And Lynn told us that he was going to celebrate his 70th birthday by running in the Will Rogers 35th annual race. He has run in every single race for 35 years.
He's quite an athlete. You know, his years of running sub-40 10Ks are behind him, but he's one of the faster runners we've had here for many, many years.
Well, there were people significantly younger than he who were passing at about the same time.
That's right. That's
so
right.
So there's a significant amount of athleticism there.
He is still a formidable runner, I can assure you.
That would be the best way to put that, yeah. So it's Lynn Borland, our 70-year-old winner or runner today. And I think to cross at that time makes him a winner in some special category.
Absolutely. Anytime a 70-year-old can run this course at any speed is fantastic.
That's amazing. We have people crossing and stretching and saying, made it.
That's right. They're very happy to be here. By the way, Lynn is actually training to climb Mount Whitney with us in August. So this is just a little side exercise for him.
Here he is, the man of the hour, Lynn Borland. Thank you for joining us, Lynn, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a fabulous day. You couldn't ask for better weather, better run race. It was beyond belief. I was out there on a 48 pace. Now I'm 70 years old, so I couldn't get much better than that. But my hamstring, I pulled it on the downhill of Will Rogers. You know, that steep race you saw that earlier with the #1 runners. And so that's why I'm in at 53.
That's fantastic. Now, how does that compare to your other times? Is this pretty close to what you've been running?
My best time ever on this course was 36, so 17 minutes slower. But that was a long time ago.
And like last year, this is pretty comparable. So we're in a new bracket.
We're in a new bracket, yes, and we'll see what happens when the results come in.
Now, do you have other runners in your family you're encouraging?
Oh, my gosh. I've got both of my daughters, 2 of them out here, one's still at home, but and all 4 grandchildren, all granddaughters, and they're all running today.
And
2 of them in the kids run.
You've inspired them quite a bit.
Well, let's hope so. You know, I try, and you know, they are kids, so you get what you delivered, but they're all good kids. They really are. I love them.
Well, I want to congratulate you. I know Thomas does.
Yeah, fantastic, Lynn. As usual, Lynn is setting a new record. Only this year, the record is in the 70+ with a pulled hamstring. So congratulations, Lynn. That's an excellent thing.
Congratulations, Lynn.
Thank you very much.
Lynn Borland, our 70-year-old runner today, and like you said, a special category both for age and an injury.
Unbelievable.
And still.
Most people would have folded their tent and gone home at the 5-mile mark as they came down those switchbacks with a pulled hamstring, but not Lynn. He just powered through it.
And here we have the folks right after the win saying congratulations in a special way. And all here at the Will Rogers 5 and 10K 35th annual run, live today on KVMD television and through LARegional4th.com. Now here's our other camera from up the street where we have a little bit more tree coverage and people kind of jogging around the corner. It seems that when you get past 57 minutes or so, there's a little less urgency. We have a few people who are blazing for the finish line saying, I see it, I'm going to do better than my personal best. A lot of people are just still maintaining the stride.
Well, you know, after 6 miles, the last 0.2 of a mile can be pretty tough, but it looks like a few are still coming in with a good amount of energy. Once they see that finish line, they get a little bit motivated to go faster.
This is fantastic. All here live for you today on the 4th of July. Beautiful running weather. Now this is an overcast, but you have a special word for it here.
We just call it overcast.
Is it?
Kind
okay.
of a gray overcast sky, yes.
The gray overcast. That was what I heard earlier today. And it's like, is there another color?
Well, any color will work as long as it's cool. We like that.
There you go. More runners coming across the finish line, more runners chugging around the lead. About 3,000 participants here today, and all of them working so very hard to make sure that they outdo themselves. Some people running very, very hard, waving all the way down to the finish line. And the split lane, so the 10K runners are on your left and the 5Ks are on your right as they come toward the finish line.
Yes, and I see a few dogs still rolling in on the 5K side, so they're looking forward to that water dish at the end.
And perhaps the owners too?
I would say they are as well, yes.
Yeah, in a slightly different container, but same water break. I get it. I get it. Very good. We have so many people chugging very, very hard, working at it all to the very end. Our backstage camera there past the finish line. Some stretches, some claps, some kisses and hugs. Wow. What is that feeling, Thomas? I know you've run this. I know you've cycled. I know you're quite an athlete yourself.
Well,
how is that feeling when you cross the finish line?
It's a great feeling of personal satisfaction. For many of these runners, they train quite a lot during the year, several times a week in most cases, and so to have put that amount of effort in and then run the course is always very satisfying.
It's fantastic. More runners coming across at the Will Rogers 5 and 10K. You see that's the back of the finish line, so when they cross the line, pause, turn around, that's when you see that sign at the top that says, "Thank you for running, see you next year."
That's right, and we do hope they come back next year. Many of them do.
Well, Len has been back for 35 consecutive years.
Yes, he has.
That's a great inspiration for many.
I think he is an inspiration for many. Certainly for those of us that are younger than him, we look to him as setting an example for running this course at a very good pace.
Now, many people, you can tell me more as someone who's done a great deal of running. Someone like that who has run consistently for 35 years that we know of, probably before that, can we catch up to him?
It depends. You know, some people are biomechanically gifted to run, and their joints are aligned properly, and so they don't have side issues with injuries as often as other people. You know, some people just are not designed to run. Maybe they're extra, bulky, and so it's more wear and tear on their joints. So not everybody has the same opportunity to improve, but if you work at it gradually and let your body adapt, it's surprising how good you can become over time.
So it's more like what my grandfather used to say about, are you cut out for it?
Well, there is some of that, and of course in my case, I really hardly never even made varsity, so I just struggled along as a kid, and eventually people in my age group got old and quit running, so now I'm competitive.
So now you're off the hook.
Well, I still run, but I don't have to run as fast to win a medal. So.
Now, is that situation where they say the older I get, the better I was?
I think that has something to do with it.
That has something to do with it. More 10K runners crossing on the left side of your screen, and 5Ks crossing on the right at the Will Rogers 5 and 10K 35th annual run event. Right about now, around the corner, the kids' 1K will be taking off here shortly. And tell me how that works. Someone very special coordinates that event.
Well, yes, my wife coordinates the kids' run this year, and they normally get several hundred kids to participate. These are kids ranging in age from maybe 5 up to, say, 8 years old or 9. And so it's a half-a-mile run, and the kids have a wonderful time doing it. It's kind of an entry-level exposure to running for many of them. Some of them have run before, some have never run before, but they have a lot of fun doing it. And this year, after they're done, we have the Kings ice hockey ice crew here visiting.
Wow. And so we have the Kings, and there's our shot again. 5K runners coming across on the left of your screen to the left of the cones. 10K runners coming across the finish line to the right of the cones. More people pouring in. Very, very exciting. And there we have the other wider shot of the same circumstance. 10s on the left, 5s on the right.
That's right. They're still rolling in, and we're at the, where are we? We're at the 1 hour and 2 minute mark. So they're still coming in.
We have some walkers now in our shots, but still moving, still moving. No one sat down and called a taxi.
I don't think there's a taxi out there to be had.
That might be motivation. It's like, well, I might as well walk.
That's right.
With Thomas Hathaway, I'm Tim Greenwood. Thank you for tuning in to our live coverage today of the Will Rogers 5 and 10K 35th annual run. And did you see that Jennifer Rogers gave us a greeting at the top of the show?
That was very much appreciated. Jennifer's been a great supporter. It's a partnership between the park, the Historical Foundation up at Will Rogers, and also the race organizers here.
There's so very many connections between Will Rogers, the performer, comedian, actor that we know and love, and the park, the town, the area. Some very important things to check out. So you should Google Will Rogers next time you get a chance. Live coverage of the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run event is brought to you by Rex Talent Management.
Hi, I'm Rex Miser, Rex Talent Management, and I would love to introduce my amazing talent to you.
Hi, I'm Min Wen, film director and consultant for Rex Talent Management.
I'm Paul Otson.
Hi, my name is Grant First.
What hit with us here?
Amber Urban.
Shea O'Reilly.
I'm Lauren Furs.
My name is Billy Kang.
I'm Brenda Miranda.
Haley Gabriel. Dumont Mars.
Hi, I'm Amber Barbell.
I'm Julie Daniels.
I'm Gustav Sage.
I'm Cameron Radice. Initiative.
Compassionate.
Excellent.
Proactive.
Connected.
Communication.
Awesome. Family.
Best.
Commitment.
Loyal.
Caring.
Cool. Spectacular. Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management
Rex Talent Management
Rex Talent Management
is the place to be.
Is the place to be.
It's the place to be.
Rex Talent Management is the place to be.
I'm Deanna, and we're out at my house, Ontario, California, celebrating our 4th of July.
We visit backyards across all 5 counties that surround Los Angeles, starting at 10 o'clock as part of the How We Celebrate the 4th of July on the LA Regional 4th. Welcome back to the Will Rogers 5 and 10K 35th Annual Run with Thomas Hathaway. I'm Tim Greenwood, and the siren just went off during the break. What does that mean, Thomas?
Well, that means the kids' run is underway, and so a lot of excited youngsters running down Alma Royale onto Ocampo, and
a lot of flailing arms and just
a lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline.
And so they will be showing up on the finish line cam on the right side of the screen with the 5K runners.
That's correct. They run just shy of a half a mile. They do a loop, and they'll come back on the side where the 5K runners are coming in. So, but you'll notice the difference. They'll be the small ones with a lot of energy.
You'll notice the difference. Let's find out. So let's take a look at our finish line cam if we can, because the kid runners are going to be coming around the corner in just a moment. More 10K runners on the left side of your screen now making an hour 6, an hour 6:10, an hour 6:11. That's an hour and 6 minutes is a long time to be running.
It is a long time, and sometimes people think that just because you run slower, it's not as hard, but it's very hard because you're out there longer, and it's a lot of wear and tear on the body.
Oh, that's a whole different stress, isn't it? Because it's a longer duration.
Exactly. Some people that have to do a marathon in 4 or 5 hours suffer more wear and tear than the ones doing it in 3 hours. But
isn't that interesting? Okay, because people think, oh, I take it slower, it won't hurt as much, but if you're out there longer, then you have a different stamina duration problem.
It's a different issue. It's more wear and tear on the joints, and maybe not so much otherwise, but yes.
Is there a right way to run that people who don't run very often might miss that you could share with us?
Well, there are ways to run more efficiently than other ways, but really everybody's running style is unique to them. It's like a fingerprint. There's no two people that run exactly alike.
That's very interesting. The fingerprint of running.
Yes, and
this will be your book.
Well, you can see that just watching people run. Everybody has a slightly different posture, a slightly different gait, a slightly different strike pattern.
And we see many on screen now. That's true. They all have a slightly different posture and gait.
That's right. And so for people they're just learning how to run, it's all about
here comes our first kid runners in the finish line cam, please.
Yes,
we have the kids crossing on the right side of the screen at the finish line.
It looks like the baseball cap turned around backwards did it for this youngster.
The guy in red number 3, looks like the lead, followed by the girl with the white shorts, closely followed by the gentleman in blue on blue. And here they come. They're going to be on the right side of this screen. The little kids coming in the 5K lane. There it is on the right. Yes. And you got, like you said, they're smaller and more enthusiastic.
Yes, they are, but they have the same official numbers and the same official T-shirts, and boy, that's what they come for.
There they are. There they are. The smallest, most enthusiastic runners. They're on the right side of your screen.
And many of these runners will be running the 5K in just a matter of maybe 2 or 3 more years, and then after they mature a little bit more, they might try the 10K.
And I was curious about that, Thomas, because with 35 years of the run, do you know of some people who perhaps have been in the kids' run and have actually made it over to the 5 and the 10 by now.
Oh, absolutely. Many people. In fact, we have people whose offspring have made that transition as well. So
the families of runners.
That's correct.
Well, like Lynn has bringing in his family members.
His family runs and our kids run. So yes, it's a generational transition. That's right.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Here comes more of them. We have, there we go, more successful youth running into the, they're in the 5K lane. The 5K people are being very kind and smiling. It's kind of cheering up the 5K people now.
There's some pretty good sprinters in this group. Some of these little kids have some speed. You can see them weaving in through, and here they go to the finish.
He's too tired to do the high five. He just wants to talk to Mom.
That's right.
That collar's a little tight, Mom.
In fact, that reminds me of one year we had a leader in the 10K race that was running and winning the race, running down Sunset, and he saw his mom by the side of the road, and he stopped to give his mom a hug, and he lost the race.
Oh!
But that's not the end of the story, because he came back the next year and he won the 10K. And that's Peter Hogan. So a wonderful part of our history here.
Well, that's an important part, because there's so many people who come back so many times to these, and like the winners we've had today that have raced here, have watched here. Even I was amazed by the first gentleman who just was in town and decided to stop off and why don't I win the race while I'm in town?
How about that? Well, every year we have people that show up who have never been here before. Sometimes they're on vacation, sometimes they're traveling on business. I believe the holder of the record, Russell Edmonds, is not a local here. He was visiting, I believe he's from out of the country, I think England. Mm-hmm. And he set the course record at 29:46. So you never know who's going to show up.
The right side of your screen showing the 5K winners and the kids 1K fun run coming down. The runners to the left of the cone, they are finishing up the 10K today in the Will Rogers 5 and 10K 35th annual run through Will Rogers State Park and Pacific Palisades. I was speaking with Brian, who co-founded the run, and he said how hard it would be to start this event today.
I don't think you could actually start this event and operate it the way we operate it now. For example, we actually shut down Sunset Boulevard, one of the busiest streets in Los Angeles, for the duration of the race. I don't think that you would be able to do that now. We're able to do that because we're grandfathered in, having done it for so many years.
And they don't want to have several thousand runners go join the next meeting. So they say, okay, stay up there on the mountaintop.
Yes, they're very helpful and they cooperate nicely with us, but it is a big challenge to close streets of this size and quantity.
This is a rare and special event. It's a family event. The right side of your screen having many runners coming in now from a little earlier in the route, and then closer to the finish line. You'll see the 5K winners and runners and the kids 1Ks coming in. Oh, we might have like the last couple of children coming across with little hoodies and the sweatshirts that go down to the knees. Just too charming. Here it is, our finish line cam, a little jumpy, but I tell you what, it's worth the pictures because someone's looking at that saying, that's my child, that's my sister, that's my mom or dad.
And you know, what better way really to introduce your kids to a healthy lifestyle than to have them come out and have fun with a short run like this?
Well, they say so often when people get into an unhealthy situation of any kind, it's the peer group, the group around them. And so if you have a whole group of people being healthy, running, and a festive, wonderful, the whole town is here, then what better support system for doing the right thing?
Children learn what they live. And if they're brought up by parents that introduce them to outdoor activities that, burn a few calories, they learn to like that.
Yes.
And it just becomes part of their lifestyle. And really, this is all about a healthy lifestyle. Running is just one aspect of it.
That's very, very true. So many people who are by the ocean are a lot more aware of the healthy lifestyle, but people all across Los Angeles are more and more aware because it's good weather, you can get outside. All 5 counties have exciting events today, and we are fortunate to be here at the Will Rogers 5 and 10K 35th annual run event in Pacific Palisades with Thomas Hathaway.
Well, we're very happy to have you here, Tim, and it's been really fun to present what we do to the world because it's kind of special and we're very proud of it.
It's very special. We still have our runners back in the route a little bit of a sprint, a little bit of an arm swing, still trying to keep it happening. But like you said, many times past an hour of run time, that's a long time. You begin to feel it.
Yes, you do. It's a lot of effort to run a 10K in that length of time. Here I see a kid coming in that looks to be not more than 2.
Oh, finish line cam if we can.
She is
curly and a little red hairband.
She's determined.
On the right, coming across with one of the 5s.
She's determined, and boy, just based upon her hair, she's going to win.
You have to have winning hair.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Look at this, little people. Ah, steady now. There we go. More right across the red, white, and blue finish line. More fantastic 1K runners. There's somebody with a flag and a ponytail and a smile. And mom. Look at this. On the left side of your screen, 10K runners coming in.
Excellent. Very well done.
PallyParadeDoc.com.
PallyParadeDoc.com.
Yeah, look for it. Maybe
Very
next
good.
year, yeah. There'll be a screening sometime later in the summer for the Palisades.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Have fun today.
Thanks for sharing. All righty. Bye.
Okay, well, there you go.
And we are close to a break, I think is what that cue was. So I want to make sure that we're ready for that. You're watching the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run on KVMD and LARegional4th.com with Thomas Hathaway. I'm Tim Greenwood, and I think we'll be right back. Live coverage of the Will Rogers 5 and 10K run event is brought to you by Rex Talent Management.
Hi, I'm Rex Miser, Rex Talent Management, and I would love to introduce my amazing talent to you.
Hi, I'm Min Wen, film director and consultant for Rex Talent Management.
I'm Paul Otson.
Hi, my name is Grant Furs.
Jorge Rodas here.
Amber Urban.
Seamus O'Reilly.
I'm Lauren Furs.
My name is Billy Kang.
I'm Brenda Miranda.
Haley Gabriel. Dumont Mars.
Hi, I'm Amber Barbell.
I'm Julie Daniels.
I'm Gustav Sage.
I'm Cameron Radice. Initiative.
Compassionate.
Excellent.
Proactive.
Connected.
Communication.
Awesome. Family.
Best.
Commitment.
Loyal.
Caring.
Cool. Spectacular. Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management
Rex Talent Management.
Rex Talent Management
is the place to be.
Is the place to be.
It's the place to be.
Rex Talent Management is the place to be.
Attention! If you're 18 years or older and have ever thought of getting into radio or TV, call 714-842-0100 right now. The Academy of Radio and TV is looking for a limited number of people to train for exciting careers in radio and TV. Classes fill fast, so call 714-842-0100. At the Academy, you'll get hands-on training in our state-of-the-art broadcast studios. Call for your appointment. Financial aid is available if qualified. Call 714-842-0100. Visit backyards across all 5 counties that surround Los Angeles, starting at 10 o'clock as part of the How We Celebrate the 4th of July on the LA Regional 4th. Welcome back into the Will Rogers 35th Annual 5 and 10K Run. I'm Tim Greenwood.
Thomas Hathaway.
I've been saying your name all morning, and you should do it yourself this time. This is a great day. It's been lightly overcast. The runners are very pleased. All runners, all kinds, coming in happy today.
Yes, they are. It's been a wonderful day for the runners in terms of the temperature, and the gray overcast we've got helps a lot.
That's fantastic. And we had some kids 1K runners. They come in mixed in with the 5K runners, and I think they motivate each other in that last stretch up Toyopa.
Yes, they do. The 5K runners love having these little kids come powering by them. They wonder where they got all that energy.
Hey.
They probably don't know that they've only run a half a mile, but it's all good when they come into the finish.
Those little energy bundles are always tough to keep up with. Ask any parent,
That's right? Here comes some more 10K runners sprinting in.
Fantastic. The 10K runners will be on the left of your screen to the left of the cones. Those are 10K runners. They've made the full route. Men, women, all ages. And we've spoken to many people, including Lynn Borland, who has participated many times. In fact, he's participated in all 35 of the 35 years.
He's quite amazing. You know, he finished today with a pulled hamstring, so I don't know what else you can say, but it's pretty impressive.
It's very good. We have a low-flying helicopter taking pictures of the crowd today. Everybody wants to be in Pacific Palisades, but we know that you won't be or you can't be. That's why just past 10 o'clock we're going to be doing what we call the way we celebrate, the backyard reports. And these are special things because we have front porch decorating and back porch parties all around Palisades, but all across Los Angeles County and the other 4 counties, there's people with backyard barbecues, front yard barbecues. We did a story this past weekend. We're very fortunate this Wednesday because we can kind of cheat. And there were some 4th of July parties this weekend, previous weekend. And one of them was they combined, there's a family that never drives on a holiday. They all made each other a promise. We don't drive on holidays, period. We always throw a party and invite everybody in the cul-de-sac.
Sounds like a great idea.
It's wonderful, and the barbecues are in the street. It's like this. It's community. Everybody's okay with it because if everybody's invited to the party, there's no one to complain, right?
I love that. You know, we have a lot of backyard barbecue parties here in our town, and they're everywhere. You know, every block has one practically. So it's a great time to get together, not just as a family, but as a community.
Now, we were talking a little bit earlier with some people who had parties that were along the route, and they were quietly bragging that, well, they had parties that some runners might stop and just like forget about the run.
I suppose that's possible. I don't know. Usually those parties don't start up until after the run, but
there we go.
There's the LAPD letting us know that they've got us covered.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're on the cliff just above the Pacific Coast Highway. And lots of exciting things happening here in Pacific Palisades. The backyard reports include backyard reports, front yard reports, and we even have some music that was recorded at the California Theater in San Bernardino, which has the sad distinction as being the last venue that Will Rogers performed in. They have a large mural of him. They have a couple of rooms named after him. And they were doing a show this past weekend called Celebrate, and it's a historical and patriotic music presentation. We have some clips of that in the backyard reports.
That sounds very interesting. You know, Will Rogers is a really important part of the history of the Palisades when he bought his ranch up in the Rusted Canyon area. It's just become a crown jewel of the city, really, and it's often, you know, enjoyed by both people here and from all over the city.
Of course, has the connection to Will Rogers. And at 1 o'clock this afternoon, we start the pre-parade. 2 o'clock this afternoon, the 64th annual Pacific Palisades Americanism Parade, never before televised. And someone says, well, of course this year hasn't been televised yet. It hasn't started yet. But the parade itself has never been televised. We have it live for you on this channel, so tell everybody, tweet everybody, call everybody. This is another gem and a showpiece of the town.
This might be the best hometown parade in Southern California. We think it is, but it's been going on for 64 years now, and it brings out the best of everybody and everything in the Palisades.
It's the largest in Los Angeles County, and we were invited to come cover it by Mayor Villaraigosa. He said, well, why don't you just look at the best one?
Well, that's kind of him to say that. I think he was a participant last year, and you know, we're very proud of it. It's a combination of high-tech, low-tech, homespun, and state-of-the-art. It's a little bit of everything.
Well, and we like that because that's real life, where it's part homespun and part state-of-the-art and part today and a little bit of history so we know where our roots are.
That's right, and you know, you'll see everything from residents, moms, a few dogs, and everything in between.
That's fantastic. Many people know that this is the 35th annual Will Rogers 10K run event, but not many people know that this is the first year that it's being televised. A lot of people have worked very hard to bring it to this point, so let's meet some of the people who saw a run where there was none. Let's meet them right now. Now, you were a runner. You guys decided to make it a 10K run. How did you prepare for it to be a 10K run?
The three of us said, well, let's, you know, we run this course every day. Let's see if we can actually figure out if it comes close to being a 10K.
We had to go out and find a course that would be 10K. And Chris and Brian said, well, we're going to go this course that goes up the hill into Will Rogers Park, which is the course that we ran for our own exercise in the mornings, early mornings with a group.
Why can't we have a race? We have a race every morning.
And I said, no, you can't do it. That's too difficult. That's all uphill. And I said, no, we're going to do it. And of course, I was wrong.
We took a red wagon.
And we met down where the start is now by the park. Chris Carlson and Brian Shea and I.
We took a red wagon.
Our little red wagon.
Chris showed up with a little red wagon.
We had this little radio flyer wagon that is great for hauling all kinds of things other than children.
And we took one of those measuring wheels that you use for traffic accidents.
A little red wagon and a case of beer.
I mean, thinking about, part of it's in the residential area, which is fine, but we went up Sunset Boulevard, we went up into Will Rogers, and...
Three guys with a red wagon and a case of beer walking down Sunset Boulevard with a little yellow clicking wheel. And no one said, yeah, those guys are normal.
Yeah, I can't explain, to be honest with you. I really can't explain it.
They hauled the goodies in the wagon and measured the race.
So there's three of you with a measuring wheel and a wagon and a case of beer.
That's right.
And which ran out first, the people, the route, or the beer?
I think we wound up with a couple of cans of beer left at the end, but not much.
To be honest with you, I don't know how we did that. I mean, thinking about, part of it's in the residential area, which is fine, but we went up Sunset Boulevard, we went up into Will Rogers.
You know, it took 4 or 5 hours.
Now, what time of day did you do the walk?
Well, I think we probably started around noon or something like that. And
so you're in the middle of the afternoon walking down Sunset Boulevard with a case of beer.
With our little red wagon.
Now that you mention it, I guess it didn't occur to us that this might be questioned by somebody. but that's what we did anyway, and it worked out fine.
That's kind of how it started, and part of what I mentioned now, the course is certified. Believe it or not, through all that simple, tools that we had back 35 years ago, we're only like not that far off in the actual measurement of the course. So it's pretty amazing.
But Brian basically got all the permits, and they, required a lot of paperwork. He's a genius at organization, and everyone likes him, and he knows a lot of people, and so he got it done. And I just kind of helped him as much as I could.
Now, how proud are you now that 35 years later this is on TV?
That's wonderful, yes, and we made the big time.
The making of the Will Rogers State Park 10K run, or the story of Brian Shea, Bill Klein, Chris Carlson, and a little red wagon, are thanks to them and Linda Carlson and 35 years of runners. But wait, what about the 5K? How did that happen?
If the 10K on a hilly course is too much for you, run the 5K. That was another idea of Brian's when we started with the 10K, and he said, well, we ought to have a 5K also. And I said, no, Brian, what's the 10K? And of course, I was again overruled. and of course, he was right and I was wrong, because that 5K has turned out to be very popular.
So now let's call this segment the making of the Will Rogers State Park 5K and 10K run, the story of Brian Shea, Bill Klein, Chris Carlson, and a little red wagon, with our thanks to Linda Carlson and 35 years of runners in Pacific Palisades, California. Thanks for watching. See you next year. You are watching live coverage of the Pacific Palisades Will Rogers 5 and 10K run with Thomas Hathaway and Tim Greenwood on LARegional4th.com. The Los Angeles Regional 4th of July live televised celebration, including the Pacific Palisades Will Rogers 5 and 10K run, USA Track and Field certified, followed by How We Celebrate, the 4th of July backyard reports from all around the region. At noon, it's the Firecracker Film Festival, the award show where independent TV salutes independent film. And building up to the 2 p.m. telecast, first ever broadcast live, it's the Pacific Palisades Parade, live from Pacific Palisades, California. The 64th annual event, you'll see it live on this channel at 2 p.m. in California, or live on the web through the web streaming. Los Angeles Regional 4th of July live televised celebration and the LARegional4th.com telecast are brought to you by the Academy of Radio and Television Broadcasting, state and federally accredited for 25 years. ARBradio.com. Rex Talent Management, a selective talent management company you should visit at rextalentmanagement.com. Also brought to you by Shade Tree Imagineering, creative solutions in metalworking. Turn your imagination loose at shadetreeimagineering.com. And by Junie's Catering and Junie's Kitchen. Visit him for good food anywhere. JuniesKitchen.com. And brought to you by Magnolia Street Productions, live instant event video production. MagnoliaStreet.com brings you today's program. Also, Brandon's Diner, simply the best. 7 locations. Brandon'sDiner.com brings you the backyard reports and more.